Tim, we got to take a 3-minute break. We're going to be back. We're talking with Tim Swartz. When we get back, I promise you, we're going to be talking about Area 51, the past, how it started, and all the rumors and, all the different things that advanced in Area 51. So stay tuned and tell your friends. Again, you can listen to Night Dreams Talk Radio after dark. You can find our website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Check us out. You can even check out our guest on it. We'll be right back right after this.
Broadcasting building. I'm speaking from the roof of Broadcasting Building, New York City. The bells you hear are ringing to warn the people to evacuate the city as Martians approach. Estimated in the last 2 hours, 3 million people have moved out along the roads to the north. Hutchison River Parkway is still kept open for motor traffic. Boyd bridges to Long Island, hopelessly jammed. All communication with Jersey Shore closed 10 minutes ago.
Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades. Here's your host, Gary Anderson.
That is me. I tell you, this summer up here on the West Coast, up in, the Seattle-Tacoma Gig Harbor compound area, I tell you, it's been not the summer that I expected. The weather, earth changes. I don't know. They're saying all over the world, everything is melting, everything is hot. Well, we didn't have a hot summer here, so I don't know. Maybe next year. Hey, Tim, are you still there, my friend?
Yes, I am, Gary.
Yeah, out of curiosity, how's the weather in your location? How was it this summer?
It was fairly hot. I mean, we didn't get a lot of 100-degree plus temperatures this year. We actually have had a more wet than usual season. It started out, the spring was very wet, and it's kind of continued on into the summer. This year, by September, our lawns should be pretty much brown.
Oh yeah.
But everyone's been mowing their lawns right up to this point still, and if it keeps going, we'll probably be mowing up until Thanksgiving. Is my prediction.
I don't know. Maybe it's from, Antarctica melting, all that moisture, going up in the sky. I know that it's really strange. Like Alaska had some parts of it 97-degree, heat waves, which is totally unheard of, especially in Alaska. And then in part of Antarctica, they registered for a couple weird times around 90-some degree temperature. Things are weird going on. That's all I can say. And no, I'm not going to blame it on the UFOs, guys.
Oh, well, I'll agree, though. I mean, it's the climate, the local climate, here in Indiana is definitely a lot warmer than it was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we would have winters where it would snow before Christmas, and then the snow would never go away for the rest of the winter. Now, really, it's very rare to have more than just a couple of inches every now and then throughout the winter, and some. I mean, there's been a few years now where we haven't had any snow at all.
Well, that sounds like us. I mean, up here in the Seattle area, we used to get snow. It lasts a week or two. When I was a kid, I couldn't wait for it because we'd be out of school, just before Christmas, before the break. Then it would snow and we had an extended break. I don't know. But one thing, it's been pointed out to me by a couple scientists on my show. I don't know your age. I'm going on 68. And, when I was a kid, it seemed like if you went outside at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or even 12 o'clock, the sun seemed so much brighter. And now the brightness isn't quite there. I don't know if you noticed it or if it's, my imagination and some other people's imaginations.
Well, I don't know if I have noticed it like that. I mean, to me, since I'm older, the sun seems to be a lot brighter, but I think that has more to do with my aged eyes than anything else.
It could be. The sun seems more whiter. That's what a couple of scientists has been on my show, and or they have actually.
I've heard other people say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have actually taken readings and stuff, and they said it's cooler. So I don't know. Maybe something's going on there too. Who knows? Again, you hear there's supposed to be another asteroid coming close to Earth tonight.
Tonight? Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's supposed to come close to Earth. But, this past weekend, there was one that was supposed to miss the Earth, but it actually went into the Mediterranean. And, yeah, that's scary when they said, oh, it's not going to hit. It's not going to come anywhere near hitting, and then it hit.
Well, when they're smaller like that, it's a lot. It is. It's more difficult to tell just exactly, where they're going to go, and if, because really they could catch the gravitational pull of the Earth or the Moon in just a certain way that will send it careening a lot closer than they predicted. The bigger ones, the planet killers, they're a little bit easier to tell what trajectory they're going to take. But it's not a perfect science, is it? No,
and it's not perfect either because a lot of them have passed. In other words, there it is. One passed around Earth and they didn't even know it because they can't, keep an eye on every one of them. It seems like every so often one popped through that they didn't know it was going to be there. And that one that popped through here a couple months ago was the size of a Greyhound bus going over 50,000 miles an hour. Could you imagine if it hit a major city, what it would do to it?
That's pretty big. I was trying to remember how big the one that came in over Siberia, Russia, a few years back that caused the big, sonic blast and took out all the windows. I think that one was a little bit bigger than a school bus, but fortunately it ended up in a lake. rather than coming down on a city. But yeah, like you said, I mean, you don't have to have a really big piece of space rock for it to do a lot of damage. All depends on how it's coming in, the angle, and that kind of scenario. Fortunately, Earth is a water planet, so most of them that would be big enough to be, say, like a city killer ends up in an ocean someplace. But it's hard to say how long our luck will last.
Yeah, I was reading in the paper the other day, or on the news, they said, by CNN, it said, is this a matter of when? Basically, they know it's going to happen. We just don't know when. So, that's another thing. We should be, instead building the wall, I have to say my little political thing, we should be putting money into the grid system, okay? Because if a grid system goes down, we're toast anyway. We need to put the money in there rather than the wall. The second thing is we need to give NASA and money to be able to do a better job of tracking these asteroids and give them money to be able to do it. Now let's get into Area 51.
Well, I need to tell our audience that we're talking about Area 51 tonight because we've just recently released a new book. Timothy Green Beckley's Global Communications Publications has just released a new book called Area 51, Warning, Keep Out. I'm one of the authors. Tim Beckley's contributed to it. We've got some great people like Sean Castile, Joshua P. Warren, Hercules Vitis. Let's see, the late Brad Steiger actually had a piece that he had written that his wife, Sherry, who fortunately is still with us, gave us permission to put into this book. It can be found on Amazon or at your local bookstore, and if your bookstore doesn't have it, tell them to get it for you. Fascinating book. It's just got just great information that really you may not be able to find anyplace else, and at an excellent price, too, I should say.
Oh, yeah. And people can go onto our show's web, and I have it posted up there a couple places, again, where they can find it on Amazon. So, yeah, I think that is going to... I'm waiting for my copy to come. Tim sent me a copy. I'm going to spend whatever time it takes to start from A to the end. I'm going to read the whole thing in one shot.
Well, good. And, I hope you enjoy it because, a lot of us worked very hard to get this book out and to make sure that the information that's included in this book is as accurate as, that we can, possibly have. Because, some of the stories in here, involving UFOs and, the possible, encounters with strange humanoid beings and stuff. I mean, that kind of stuff is a little bit more difficult to try to verify. But that's what makes this whole subject about Area 51 so fascinating is not only its characteristics as being an unknown for such a long time, a secret base hidden away in the Nevada desert, to the more recent stories that have come out that possibly this location was being used to not only test and fly captured UFOs, but even maybe as a holding place for either the deceased or maybe even some of the living pilots of these crashed UFOs. But Area 51 has been around for quite a while, and it's originally due to the Cold War, which started at the end of World War II. Before that, it was just